Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you're having a great weekend. It is Phil here, of course, from Wings of Pegasus, and thank you for joining me tonight, all you guys in the live chat room, you early birds in there as well. Let me get you guys up on screen and see who is in the house tonight. So we have Terry, Alexi, Billy, Lynn, Sue, Tortoro Porco, which is Richard, Lisa, Jennifer, Selena, Trish, Corey, Dan, Beverly, Vince in there as well, Chris and Carla moderating. Hello guys, thank you for joining me, and I did just get a message from Vince to let me know that there was another picture that had been uploaded, but because I'm now live, it's going to be difficult for me to get that up on the screen later on for the pictures. We just have one other picture, but I know that at least a few Wings to Pegasus pint glasses are out there. So you can find those in the tray underneath this video or over at spring.com. The link is in the description below. So we do have the pint glasses out into the world, and I do believe that we had the first one delivered a few days ago. I haven't received mine yet, so I can't show it to you guys on the live stream, but I know that they are out there somewhere. But I know that we have a picture that we'll be looking at a little bit later on, and I think it was Jennifer who uploaded the picture, which I will get onto the live stream on Tuesday for the next one. But let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible, and a massive thank you to them. And sometimes it takes a little bit of a while for their names to come along onto the screen. I don't know why that is, but here they come. So thank you guys so much for making this possible. Like I said, literally every video that I do, the live streams, the analysis videos, and the Under the Spotlight videos as well, because now we have 3 of those on the channel. I've made a little playlist that you guys can check out there, and it was Taj Farrant that we had a look at last time, and that was last Sunday, and there's a new episode of that series every Sunday, every first Sunday of a new month. So it will be another one coming along in a few weeks time, but make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell in order to never miss any video, but the live streams as well, and the Under the Spotlight series. So a big thank you to Mike as well, and I think we did have an early donation because Mike donated $5, so thank you for that, Mike. And the message was, I figured it out, practice guitar before you turn on the computer. So thank you for that, Mike. And we did have a donation that came in from Ginny, so thank you for that, and that was just before we went live. And the message was, Phil, thanks for the Ernest Tubb video. He may not have had the best voice, but he helped a whole lot of other country stars. Take care. So thank you for that, Ginny. This was, by the way, last night's analysis video. If you guys haven't checked that out, it'll be the latest one on the channel, and there's some great lead playing there on pedal steel as well as just electric guitar. So check that one out if you do get a chance. And I do mention in that video about the fact that Ernest was one of those vocalists who started out learning to sing and doing yodeling, really mastering his voice, but then he had a tonsillectomy, and that's what caused him to then have the voice that he actually was very successful with and became known for. And he was one of those people who wasn't too serious about his voice. When people said that he couldn't sing, he really brushed it off and he didn't mind that at all. But I think, if anything, it made his voice even more unique, because I think before he might have tried to copy Jimmy Rogers because he was such a huge fan of his, but having that tendency to, especially when you're influenced largely by one particular artist, one particular vocal style, you might fall into the trap of copying them exactly, and that might have been certainly the temptation for Ernest back in the day, but then he just had to go his own way with his vocal because his vocal cords couldn't do what they used to do before. So it might have just made his vocal even more unique and therefore more attractive. And this is one of those things that I always say, just sing the way that you do yourself and try not to copy people too much. You can be influenced by them, learn different techniques vocally to improve your voice, but just trying to copy someone else's tone exactly and their phrasing exactly is probably a bad idea, especially if you're creating original music. But thank you, Ginny, for that donation, and let me get the donation tab up on screen so you guys know how it's all split with percentages and all that kind of stuff, so you know where your money goes. On the super chat donations, as you can see, it's 35 to 45% that goes to YouTube, and on the PayPal donations it is between 3 and 5%, I do believe. So just mentioning that there is a donation that has come in over on PayPal, so thank you for that, Michelle. And I'm just going to scroll down because it was for £10 and 1 pence. So thank you for that. And the message is in loving memory and celebration of Rory Gallagher, March the 2nd, 1948 to June 14th, 1995. Rest easy, Rory, a million miles away. So thank you for that, Michelle. And amen to that message. And Rory's one of those guitarists that you'll find featured quite a lot on the channel, with myself and Donal Logue as well, who joined me to talk about Rory. And we also talked about country music, some of the country players like Glenn Campbell, which is easy for me to say, but Roy Clark as well. There's so many fantastic country players that are just of a top technical ability, and we did kind of go down that avenue as well, because I think Donal is one of those guys that certainly, when he was growing up, listened to a lot of country music as well and got a huge appreciation of playing the guitar and an appreciation for guitar players through those kind of players like Glenn and Roy. So yeah, definitely check that out if you get a chance on the channel. And that's if you just type in British guitarist Donal Logue, the actor, then you'll probably find it. But there are plenty of Rory Gallagher videos here as well, so you can check those out if you want to. But thank you, Michelle, for that donation. It is much appreciated, as well as just you guys joining me on these live streams. Hello. And let's get the live likes up on screen, because we are up to 125 so far, so thank you for that, guys. If you can hit that thumbs up as you come through the door, it would be great and much appreciated. And we'll see if we can get a little spike of the likes. And let's have a plug of the mug while we are at it. This is not a pint glass, as I haven't received that, as I said, but here's a Wings of Pegasus mug to make up for it. And it says, let's see how they get on the other side. It says, and there we have it. You get different colour options with these. I've gone for the black and white one. There's a purple one, I think, as well, purple and white. I think there might be another colour option. And there's also a Tuesday night live stream mug if you want that. But I am very much looking forward to my pint glass being delivered and filling that up, probably with just water at the moment. I've started my training. I'm now into the 3rd week, so somehow I've managed to keep it up, and hopefully I can keep on going. And certainly when training, water's definitely the wise choice rather than having too much sugar and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, you need some kind of sugar in order to work out beforehand, but then yeah, just eating cake between workouts is probably not a good idea. Cake and orange squash, not the best diet plan for working out and trying to get in shape. But anyway, we will see when that pint glass does get delivered, because I can certainly have more, maybe some grape juice. I do like juices, even though I do have a tiny amount, probably about 200 millilitres of juice at any one time, because there's a lot of natural sugar in juice as well. But something I can certainly put into a pint glass if and when it arrives. So hopefully it's going to be a case of when and not if, but we will see. So thank you for joining me in that live chat room, you guys. I can see going through Lucy, Dan and Billy, and Mario is in the house. Did I just see Mario? I'm not going crazy. And there he is. So everybody say a huge hello to Mario, who is in the live chat room. That's what we always do on these live streams. So everybody say hello. Mario, you can see his gem in the background there, and also his Maton acoustic, which is just there. And my pointing is quite accurate tonight, surprisingly. But thank you, Mario, for sending me your guitars to play. And certainly the Maton does pop up in a lot of analysis videos when I'm looking at acoustic players, acoustic performances, and just acoustic artists who do play rather than electric. But I do get the gem out occasionally as well if we've got something a little bit heavier going on and I need that humbucker action. But hello, Mario, and thank you for joining us. Huge shout out to the moderators as well for doing such a great job on these live streams. You'll see their names go through the live chat room. They have a blue wrench next to their names, and we have Carla in there, Laurie as well, and Neil. So thank you guys for doing such a great job on these live streams. So let's see where our target is set for tonight's pick roulette likes goal, and it is at 260 for tonight. So keep on hitting that thumbs up and we will see how close we can get to the target before the end of the live stream. And there is good news with relation to the pick roulette, because we are going to be having one tonight. So stay tuned for that. If you typed I agree last week, then you will have your name on that pick roulette wheel for tonight, and you can pick up, I'm going to have to stretch over, a Wings of Pegasus pick, and it's signed on the other side as well. The only way that you can pick one of these up is by getting on that pick roulette wheel, which means we have to hit the target with the lycometer there, but the target is 260 tonight. So if we hit that tonight, then next Saturday you can get your name, type I agree, and tag Carla in the live stream tonight, and you'll get your name on next week's live stream pick roulette wheel, and then you can have a chance of winning a pick then as well. And we're going to be having one on Tuesday, so there are a few opportunities for you guys to go home or stay at home and have it sent to you. You don't go home with it because we're all at home anyway. So if somebody does have a Wings of Pegasus signed pick, then you know that they are very lucky, because you can only get your hands on one in the pick roulette on these live streams, and you have to be attending the live stream. That's the other thing. You have to be there when your name pops up in order to let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room, but that will be happening a little bit later on in this live stream. So back into the donation window, because we have had a donation from Guitarist for $50. So thank you so much for that very kind donation in the super chat window. And the message is, you amaze us, fans in Texas. So thank you for that, and thank you for the kind words as well. I'm glad that I amaze you, and hopefully you find the videos somewhat interesting, and hopefully you can maybe learn something from it, even if you don't play the guitar or you don't really know any music theory. I try and keep them as accessible to everyone as possible, so hopefully I can point out a few things that people can take away from the videos, even if you're just fans of the artists that we are looking at. And recently we've been having a bit of a look at different, not styles, but I guess it's different levels of playing, where we've looked at Madonna, where she was just starting out playing, and then 4 years later to see how she progressed with her chords. So yeah, we have been looking at more beginner level at the moment. I think it's good to do that, to just take a little bit of a side track to have a look at all abilities rather than just looking at top players all the time. And more often than not, a lot of the top players, they play in such a way that it's impossible to just pick up the guitar and emulate what they're doing. So it's probably best to just work out roughly the kind of way that they're playing and try and apply that to your own personal way of playing. And that is something that I do get quite regularly, just emails, people asking me about techniques and practice and what to do playing the guitar. And maybe I'll pick up the guitar maybe at some point in this live stream, just to demonstrate something that I was asked about, and I can't remember who it was, whether it was an email or something over on Patreon, but I might get the guitar out just to have a little word about technical playing, playing fast, and how to achieve it and the way to approach it practice-wise, because this message was just talking about how it seems like every kid on YouTube can play really fast and they're really technically good, but then this person was saying that they struggle to play fast and they don't know why the kids can do it and why they can't do it. And I think a major part about playing fast and being technically adept on the guitar is just putting in the time to practice. These kids that play on YouTube, first of all, they've got a huge advantage in that when they want to learn a technique, they just type it in and they can see it firsthand. Whereas when I was trying to learn the guitar, all you could do was listen to it. You only saw players play when you went to a gig, and then you would hear their song on the radio or on a record, as my dad had, and I used to put the record on the turntable and try and listen to Jimi Hendrix, for example, trying to figure out some of the runs, trying to listen to the notes. And there wasn't somebody who you could just literally type in and load up how to sweep pick or how to alternate pick, how to economy pick or fast runs, scales. You didn't have instant access, whereas nowadays the kids just totally bypass having to listen to it because somebody will tell them how to do it. And there's pros and cons to that. I think that learning to play by listening to something means that further down the line it's a lot easier to work out what somebody's doing because you can hear it. You don't have to see them. When you have to see them all the time, it means that you haven't trained your ear to be able to hear where the notes are and then translate that to know where they are then on your fretboard. So I think there are pros and cons. Obviously, the pros to having it in front of you is that the speed it takes is minimal to just learn what's in front of you. You've instantly got access, whereas to figure out the notes, it might be a week or 2 weeks just trying to listen to a really fast run. It's really difficult to decipher the runs and everything that's going on. So certainly kids have an advantage nowadays, but also don't underestimate the amount of practice kids put in, especially kind of technically gifted kids on YouTube. And I was looking at Taj recently on Under the Spotlight. He would certainly fall into that category, but don't let it fly under the radar. The amount of practice, we're talking multiple hours a day, between probably 4 and 6 hours, if not more, consistently, like every day. Even when they get home from school, if they get home at 3 or half 4, they get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They might get in 5 hours practice before they go to bed, and they might have had a guitar lesson at school. They might have had a music lesson at school, which might have lasted for half an hour or an hour. They might have played during their break as well at school, which can be an hour. So yeah, don't underestimate the amount of time. Obviously, if you are an adult and you've got a job, then you have to spend most of your time at that job, and you might not finish till 5 or 6 in the evening, and then you've got a lot of things to do before then going to bed, such as organising your life, paying bills, and all of those things that adults have to do, and sort out your rent. So anyway, yeah, and you might have a leak in the bathroom. You might have a link. I'll be doing some links to videos, I promise, later on in this live stream. It won't just be me talking the whole time, but an important thing to know about playing fast is that it takes a lot of time and dedication and really organized practice. You want to make sure that you're practicing correctly as well to get the most out of your every single second that you're putting into something that is technical. And spoiler alert, it is going to be really monotonous practicing a particular run and trying to play it fast. But you've got to go into it knowing that you have to have a little bit of almost obsessive compulsive disorder of playing the same run over and over and over for hours and hours and hours a day, for then days, months and years sometimes if you want to get it really, really fast. But anyway, I might get the guitar out and demonstrate that a little bit later on, even though I've just talked about it for ages. We are going to be jumping into the first video of the night, which is going to be the cover that was requested over on Patreon. Just before we do, Patrick has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Patrick. And the message is, Hola Phil, I hope you are well. So, do you think that Night Ranger is an underrated band? So thank you for that, Patrick. And I'd say probably it's one of those cases of a band who, if you know Night Ranger and you've checked out their stuff, you don't underrate them. In terms of being well known and well publicized, then I think they probably fall into that category of not getting as much I don't know, column inches if you're talking about newspapers and media coverage as they could do compared with other bands. You could argue that are at a similar level and might get a little bit more exposure. But I think that when you know about Night Ranger from a technical standpoint, then you know what kind of level they are at, and you won't certainly underestimate them. But for publicity, I would say certainly, yeah. I mean, when you mention Night Ranger to anybody, they might not know them, but then if you're mentioning other bands, I don't know, name any bands, because I think every band that gets out there and works hard deserves to get exposure. Some bands that are just technically amazing that don't get the exposure, I think if anything was right with the world, and if everything was right, then everybody would get equal exposure. But it's just the way that it works, that sometimes bands get more exposure. But I think pretty much every band do work very hard, and the ones that do very well, even if they aren't technically amazing, they've put in a hell of a lot of work. And I mean, one of the bands who I think were great and are great is Kiss. I mean, that's one of those bands that could just go on forever with, the fact that the makeup is such a part of the image of Kiss that it could just get handed down to future generations of musicians who then carry that whole thing forward with the stage show, the music, performing the classics. But when you're talking about a band that worked really hard and probably got a little bit of a harsh deal because people didn't take them that seriously because of the way that the stage show was and the way that the makeup was done, and that was very much putting on a huge show, but they worked really, really hard. And I think I do have a video on Kiss here somewhere. I think I might do, I might not. It might be one of those that got blocked, but certainly one of those bands that really worked hard, so deserve all the success that they get. And a lot of people don't really see the hard work that goes into a lot of these bands. And I think that, yeah, if you are one of those bands that work really hard, you deserve everything you get for the hours that you put in. But thank you, Patrick, for that $5 donation. And I know there has been another one over on PayPal as well. So thank you for this. And it is Leanne who has donated £5. So thank you for that, Leanne. And the message is, "Hi Phil, my internet connection is sketchy today. Hope you all have a fun live stream," with a smiley face and a smiley winking face. Lots of love, Leanne. So thank you for that. And I'm sad that your sketchy internet is letting you down at the moment, or your internet is sketchy. Hopefully that will improve over the live stream, fingers crossed. But thank you, Leanne, so much for that donation and for getting the internet to work enough to donate. It is much appreciated. So if you can hit that thumbs up, guys, it'd be much appreciated. We are at 178 likes at the moment, aiming for 260. We are going to be jumping into the cover for tonight, and let's jump over to Patreon and see who requested this one. So the one that I have pointed out or set up is Don't Stop Believing, and this is Terry who did request this one. That's the first one I saw, so I just loaded it up straight away, having seen Terry's request. But also I can see that Deborah did request that one as well, so at least there are a couple of requests. Oh, Kathy did as well, and Teresa is in there with the same, and yeah, Music Maiden as well. And I think that was it. And Karen, right at the bottom of the list. So thank you for that request. And I'm glad that a few people did request it. I just saw Terry's, but it's good to see down the list. So I hope you guys do enjoy this one. If you do, give this live stream a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city
much for watching my cover of Don't Stop Believing by Journey. The names you can see here are my patrons. Hi patrons, thanks so much for your support and for making videos like this possible. If you want to get involved yourself and if you want to talk to me and maybe suggest some other songs that I can cover, head to this website down here, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And if I don't see you on Patreon, I will see you at the next video. Have a great day. Rock. And there we have it. That was my version of the Journey classic. And I hope you guys enjoyed that one, Don't Stop Believing. So, I put that little thing up on the screen. Maybe you noticed that. I did that live on the stream to put it over the top of the video so that when I mention it at the end of the video, you guys can at least see the link that I'm talking about. That is the patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus link. That's the site that you can go to get your names on these live streams, but also to just support the channel and make everything possible. And this is why I can just continue to make videos and do all of these things that under the spotlight, for example, all of these things and ideas that I have for pushing forward, and it's all because of these guys at the bottom of the screen. So thank you guys so much. So I am going to be getting into the pick roulette a little bit later on. It's 25 to 1 here in the morning and we're at 196 likes, and I was testing my maths in the live chat room while that video was playing, and now it has changed. So it is 64 likes we are looking for in order to get to our target of 260. So let's see if we can have a spike of the likes and hit that thumbs up. So I'm going to mention as well over on Facebook, the supporters group. I haven't mentioned that one in a while in a couple of live streams. So if you want to get involved over on Facebook and join the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over there, then just type that into the search bar. You'll be able to find it, and this is where a lot of the live chat room hang out between the live streams. And if you are new to these live streams, then just introduce yourself, say hi to everyone. That's how we all start here on the live chat room. And then if you want to, if you aren't a Facebook user, you can go over and join that Wings of Pegasus supporters group over there. So thank you everyone for doing that. I know that previously we had a whole hacking situation that went on, and that was probably a year or two ago now, so that was certainly a bit of a back step with the supporters group, but now we are back to just being fully fit over there and just fully strong with, I think, over 400 members now. So thank you guys so much for joining in over there and setting up that community and being part of that community, and as well as the live stream community as well, where we all get together. And it's great to have this on the live streams, to have you guys here so that we can all interact in a live setting, and I can see you guys in the live chat room. And unfortunately with the live analysis videos, that's something that I can't do anymore. And a friend of the channel, Michael Palmazzano, he was doing his live streams, and I think what Michael does is do very long live streams, and he looks at lots and lots and lots of different videos. But all you need, and as he knows now and I have learned from him, that if you pick a video that has the automatic block and automatic strike attributed to it from a copyright perspective, that means that you get a strike on your channel. And it means that if you get 3 strikes, you are out. Your channel is deleted. So I'm giving the live analysis videos a little bit of a wide berth at the moment, and I'm not going to be doing those just in case. I don't want to even risk one copyright strike on the channel. I know that I only look at one performance at a time, which is probably a safer way to do it, but even still doing that live I think is a little bit risky anyway. So I'm not going to be doing the live analysis videos anymore. They've been replaced on Wednesday nights just by a standard analysis video. So I'm not doing any less videos, I'm just doing more of the same type of analysis videos, where YouTube then has a processing process that it goes through in order to find anything that might be copyright on the video, and if it is found to be blocked, then you won't get a copyright strike because you haven't made it public yet, and you've uploaded it but you haven't made it public, and they tell you that it's going to get blocked and you can't make it public, and you won't get a copyright strike for doing it that way. So I'm just going to stick with doing those videos in the future. And these live streams, I know that the covers that I play, I've made a note of the covers that are copyright restricted, and some of them are blocked in particular territories, so that means that the live streams won't go out in particular places depending on what is requested. And if there is a video that will be blocked or is requested, then I just kind of sidestep that and I'll let you guys know on the live streams. But I know that most of my covers have been copyright claimed, and that means that the copyright owners gets to put adverts on the live streams, and they take a percentage of the ad revenue for my cover songs that I play on these live streams. And I know that the other music that I do play is my own music, so I know for a fact that that's fine because I own the publishing to my own music and all of the copyrights, so I don't have to worry about that. I do get a copyright claim from myself, so I get the third-party company, which is TuneCore. They look after all of my claims. I own the publishing, and they are employed to claim on everything, whether that's on YouTube or just my songs being used on the internet. So I get a copyright claim from the company that I'm paying. So it's absolutely fine, and it's quite funny in that I'm getting a royalty from myself, from my own YouTube channel. But this is the great thing, that if you own your publishing rights, I always say this on the channel, if you are an independent artist, an original musician, if you write music, keep your publishing rights, because if you do manage to get any kind of audience and any kind of traction in the future, you can have your songs being played on your own YouTube channel, and then you can earn royalties yourself through your own publishing. So you are getting effectively what the record label's doing when they go around claiming copyright on everybody's videos. That is what you're doing, but you're doing it to yourself. So it might not be huge money depending on how many views you get on your original. If you have a particular original song that goes viral, then you will make a lot of money. So just make sure that you've got those publishing rights in place. And it's just reminded me of a comment that was from a troll. Occasionally we get these people that do turn up, I guess, because there's over 175,000 subscribers now. There's a little bit of attention that people, they look at the channel, they might get a little bit jealous potentially, and then they just let out all of their frustration about their own channel having no subscribers, and they just go for it on the channel. And this person said about one of my covers, I can't remember what it was, something like, it wasn't theft, but it was something like that. They said, this isn't a cover, this is called theft. So then I explained to them the copyright law and how the video that he's saying that I'm using as theft, it's got adverts on it that have been placed on it by the copyright owner who has seen my video and has registered it with their publishing company as their song and a performance to take royalties from. So this is maybe something that people don't realize, that when there are adverts on a cover video on my channel, that's the copyright owner that has seen it and is now claiming the ad revenue from my video. And very occasionally you will get copyright owners who choose to share the revenue with you if they like your cover and they have that arrangement with YouTube, and that has happened in the past as well. So I don't think as a big channel on YouTube you can, I'm just talking about doing one cover here. If you do one cover video, I know there are other channels who do loads and loads of covers, maybe 5 or 6 or 7 in one video, and it's not registered underneath with those 7 copyright owners, and that is maybe a little bit more risky ground. But I know that if you just do one cover video and it is copyright claimed, then that ad revenue is going to the person who has claimed the copyright, and that's why you see adverts on the videos. So yeah, it was just interesting that these people that say, oh, you're stealing somebody else's music and earning money from it, it's not the way it works. If you are a large channel, I guarantee everybody else's covers have been claimed because they can see that a lot of people are watching it and they want that ad revenue, and that's certainly what happens on my channel. So just to throw it out there that, yeah, these trolls that do get involved, they don't understand how it works, that you can't get away with just doing a cover and then claiming all the ad revenue for yourself, because it doesn't work that way. And I've mentioned about how my Parisian Walkways cover is now copyright claimed as Gary Moore's live version of Parisian Walkways. So it is now registered under that same copyright. You'll see Wings of Pegasus, Parisian Walkways. That is now registered with the publishing company. And that is whoever Gary Moore has left in charge of his copyrights. My cover is now part of their repertoire or their back catalogue for copyright claims. So wherever that is played, they get the ad revenue, and I don't have any problem with that. I don't care about money going to copyright owners. That is what I want to have happen, and that is what I would want to have happen as an original artist myself, and it does happen. So yeah, that is it. More often than not, the trolls don't really know how it works, and they just want to let off steam about things they think that you're a thief or doing something underhand, but it's just not the way that it works. But anyway, back into this live stream. Rather than trying to explain copyright law and all that kind of stuff, there have been another couple of donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for this. And it is K McN who has donated $4.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, hey Phil from North Carolina, great videos! Exclamation mark. So thank you for that. And Mike has donated $10. Thank you for that, Mike. And the message is, I'll make an official Patreon request for All Along the Watchtower, maybe with spooky old castles or the Great Wall of China. You're a great video editor. So thank you for that, Mike. And that'll have to be one for the future if and when I get back to doing cover videos. But yeah, All Along the Watchtower is one of those that I would probably tend to give a little bit of a wide berth because it is Jimi Hendrix, and being such a fan of his, trying to get any performance close to him would be such a tall order, so I'd have to spend a lot of time on it. But thank you for that, Mike. And I know that there have been donations in the PayPal window as well, so thank you guys for those. And there has been another one over there, so let's get the PayPal donations window up on screen. And by the way, guys, if you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. We're now at 221 and we're aiming for 260 for tonight's pick roulette likes goal, which will mean that we have a pick roulette next week. So keep on hitting that thumbs up in order to get an opportunity to win that Wings of Pegasus pick. But let me just scroll up here because Tortoro Porco has donated £3. Thank you for that. And the message is, try not to run too late with the live stream so you can wake up early for the England football match. So thank you for that, Tortoro Porco, Richard. And yeah, this is it. It's 2 p.m. kickoff, I believe. Tomorrow, I'm going to have to really check that to make sure I don't miss it, but I think that is it. And I was watching a match today, and I don't know whether you guys would have seen this on the news over in the USA or wherever you are, but it's the European Championships, and it's called Euro 2021 because it's been delayed a year because of COVID. And today, it was actually quite distressing. The first time I've ever seen this live. So I was, as usual, doing the comments on YouTube, and I was half watching the game in the background. And it was Denmark against Finland. And there's a player on the team for Denmark, and he's called Christian Eriksen. And I know of him because he used to play for my favourite team called Tottenham Hotspur. And he was just jogging towards the sideline in order to kind of lay the ball back to the guy who threw the ball to him, and he just slowly fell forward and collapsed, and he basically looked dead. So it was very shocking to see because everyone ran over to him and his eyes weren't moving. He was just, totally dead-eyed. And the players kind of tried to get his tongue out of his mouth to make sure he didn't choke on it. And everyone went running on. And fortunately, the referee blew his whistle really quickly. You could see, because nobody was around him, he just collapsed. So it must have been a heart attack, something like that. And the other thing is that the footage, the directors from the European Championship, whichever country it was actually being held in Copenhagen, which is in Denmark. So it was his home fans that had to witness this in the stadium. And they kind of zoomed in on him, and you could see that something was seriously wrong. And then you also got to see the medical staff giving him, chest massage, pumping to try and get his heart going again. So he was at the point of being dead. And they also gave him the, I can't remember what it's called, but the electric shocks. So they put that on him so you could see his body kind of. So it was really shocking to see. First time I've ever seen something like that live, like on the TV in front of you. Somebody's potentially died in front of you. And the players were trying to make a barrier so that you couldn't see. And yeah, I thought that it was kind of maybe 5 minutes of them trying to get him back to life. And they then put sheets around him and obviously lifted him onto a stretcher and removed him off the pitch. And obviously the game was suspended and the coverage was suspended as well. And they just went to showing other programs. And yeah, really shocking. But the really good news is, and I could hardly believe this, that they managed to bring him back. And he was conscious, and as of tonight they say that he's in a stable condition in hospital, and that he has spoken, and he's somehow made it through that. And I thought he was actually gone because of the amount of time they were spending trying to get him back. So great news that Christian Eriksen is back alive and stable in hospital. And it is something that, having a sports science background, we studied something called sudden death syndrome. And it was something that was prevalent in top level athletes, where they have a heart attack and they die literally just playing sport because of a genetic mutation that they have in their heart that goes undiagnosed, but it just happens. It can just literally, their heart can just switch off. And I know that it has happened to other players. There was a player called Patrice Muamba who also had that. And fortunately, he survived as well. And he was in the UK. I didn't see that game live, but I saw it reported. And that made big news here. But he survived as well because of the team. And certainly today, the referee blew the whistle instantly and the people went rushing on. I think the players helped a lot as well, getting the tongue out of his mouth and all this kind of thing, making sure that he had every chance of surviving and being brought back. But yeah, really shocking stuff to see. And I know that a lot of people were hoping and praying and doing a lot of that for Christian, and he did come back. So those prayers and those hopes were answered, and just fantastic news, because it certainly did affect me seeing that live, and a player that you know really well. He was at Tottenham for many years, maybe 7 years, something like that. So a player that you're so used to seeing, and see interviews with him, and I've seen documentaries with him in the team, and yeah, so certainly a really nice guy as well. So fortunately, it's one of those things that you feel affected by it all day, and then you hear the news that he is okay. And then you feel like, wow, it's kind of a weight off your shoulders. So yeah, really, like I said, dramatic stuff today. I don't know if you guys have seen it reported, but certainly in Europe, that has been the main story for today. And fortunately, the whole thing is okay with the teams. They continue to play tonight. They resumed the game later on and completed it. And I think it's understandable that Denmark lost the match, because trying to focus on the game again after that, seeing one of your teammates in that kind of condition, must have been very difficult. But the tournament is continuing. So England are playing tomorrow, and I will be watching that. But thank you to Torda Porco for that donation. And yeah, it was something that I thought I'd mention tonight, because the football came up, but it is a huge story. And fortunately, fingers crossed, it's going to have a good ending to it, even though it just a good ending of, just being alive and being able to talk and being in a stable condition, let alone thinking about playing football again. I think it's going to be a case of just get him just back well. That's what everyone wants to see. But anyway, thank you for that donation. And Terry has donated £100 over on PayPal as well. Thank you so much for that, Terry. And that's a very kind donation, and a straight up donation without a message. So thank you for that. That is much appreciated. And thank you everyone for the donations in the super chat window as well as the PayPal donations window as well. It really does make a difference and allows me to do so much more on these live streams. But I am going to maybe just grab the guitar for a second. We will have a look. Where are we at? 237 likes so far. So let's see if we can get another spike of the likes to get up to 260. We have one picture to show, and then we'll get into the pick roulette, and we'll see if we get closer to the likes goal, because then we need a little bit of time, obviously, for you guys to type I agree in the live chat room in order to get your names on the pick roulette wheel if we do meet that target tonight, and we have that pick roulette next week. So anyway, let me just grab the guitar very quickly to demonstrate in terms of when you're practicing to try and speed up your playing. And let me just grab the signed pick that you can only win in the pick roulette. So, I don't know if you guys can hear this. Oh, we've got quite a heavy tone going on here. So let me just try and... hopefully you guys can hear that. So we're in E minor here. So in terms of, I'm going to have to remove you guys from the screen so that I can just demonstrate these things for you. And I can see that Carla has just donated $1.99. It says Chris Law in the house. So hello, Chris. And Chris messaged me on YouTube or left a comment yesterday. So thank you for that, Chris. And that was with King's X about the band, the analysis that I did quite a while ago. But Chris is a King's X fan as well. So hello, Chris. And we did a Sweet Emotion together. There's a cover that I play sometimes on these live streams. And yeah, I played that a while ago when Chris was in that live chat room as well. So everyone say a big hello to Chris Law in that live chat room. So I'm going to have to get rid of the live chat room just for a second, because I had this question about kind of sweep picking and how to practice it, but also alternate picking and how to speed up playing. And this is something that I'm not really obsessed with playing fast. I think I've just worked at techniques in order to play at a speed that I'm comfortable with. And I don't think when I am playing in any kind of solos that I think, oh, I needed more speed for that solo. I'm quite happy with the speed that I got techniques up to. But so the first port of call was sweep picking and arpeggios, that kind of thing. So I said the first thing that I did, I don't even play this in solo, so I don't really need it. But in terms of teaching, all you need is the basics, and then it's just time and just practicing the right way. So considering the fact that I was in E here, if you're playing, I recommended that to begin with, the just jumping over 3 strings to begin with and arpeggiating the chord. And as you can see here, I'd be really, you're just taking notes from your chord. And because we're in E, this is the E major, just a little arpeggio of E major. And the important thing here is on the right hand, kind of making sure you're going in the right direction. So what I'm doing is going down, up, 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 down, down, up, kind of like that. And you can even just combine it with a pull-off, so that that kind of thing. So, and when you've got, it's going to be, like I said, really monotonous, but it's going to be a case of, if you're putting that pull-off in there, then you want to make sure that you leave enough space for that pull-off to happen before then resuming your pick and going up in that up direction. But what you'll find is that by putting a pull-off in there, it gives you a little bit more time to make that transition. So when I'm playing this, I mean, I'm sure you guys will know that you've never seen me playing arpeggios, and if I am playing anything, it's very much kind of major bass if I'm playing, know. I'm kind of more into playing notes slowly so that I can think of them and get them down on the fretboard. If I was playing that just fast notes all the time, I can't think that quickly to go. You know, it's like my brain doesn't work that quickly. And if I wanted to get this really accurate, I'd kind of keep practicing over and over and over. But the important thing is to try and do it with a click track in the background. By the way, we've just hit the likes target, so thank you guys so much for hitting that thumbs up. And yes, hang on. I might have to get rid of the guitar, which is going to make this very difficult too, because I can see people are typing I agree. So as the names go through, I'm not going to be able to play arpeggios like this, because you always need to have your guitar in a position where ideally it's going to be down here, so that if I'm now playing I think this is why there's no real incentive for me to learn to play this really well, because I know I'm not going to use it. But if you are playing this, trying to play it with a click track, you will have to start literally going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Even without the numbers, sometimes it's good if you can just get a click that doesn't have any emphasis on it. So it's just going click, 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 click. And you want to make sure every one of those picks is really accurate. So, same thing. If we're moving over to A, and we're taking our A chord, I'm going to move it up so you can see my hand, rather than playing it down in E, because it's behind the live chat room. So, if we're now playing in A, exactly the same principle here. And those are the... Again, I'm just playing this over the 3 chords, the 3 strings. Kind of like that. So you can start to speed it up when you get comfortable with it, and don't start speeding stuff up until you're not making any mistakes. And what I mean by that is there'll be a definite cliff by where you might be going... And you'll start totally messing it up. You don't want to be pushing yourself so hard that you're playing too fast for where you are with that particular technique. And anyway, so once you've kind of played through this, so just playing this major arpeggio, and it's going to be always the same formation. So it means that if I'm 12, as you can see my little finger here on the 12th fret, I'm going down to 9 with that first finger, high E string here. Bring that second finger over to the 10th fret of the B, and then first finger down to the 9th of the G. So we've got this like that. So those are your notes. So hopefully, just by playing those through a few times, you can get used to that sound, and you can just use this no matter where if you move this around. It's going to be exactly the same. It doesn't matter. You're always going to be playing an arpeggio of a chord as long as you stick to that shape. So let's move it on a little bit. So we go now, taking it down to the little finger is what I use. Well, I don't play these, but it's what I would use if I use this technique in order to get the... You can even organize this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 strings. And you want a little break and then come back to it. I'd be using a click track, and I'd gradually increase the speed of it so that all of those notes were really nice and even. You could even... you can even start to move these around so that you can get used to kind of where your G position is. And this all really does help if you know your lead positions. Then if you wanted to jump into an arpeggio, then you could do your major just down a semitone. And that would be the same for that second finger as well. So it'll be along those kind of lines. And the minor version of the 3 strings will be that, and major like that. So those are the 2 shapes that I think you should get started with. Again, I don't really play arpeggios and sweep picking all that much, if at all. I'm very much kind of more into throwing in alternate picking with, let's take it down to E minor, that kind of thing, which is it's kind of throwing in alternate picking with hammer-ons and pull-offs. That kind of thing. So I tend to do more of that alternate picking rather than just sweeping across lots of strings. And yeah, it's again with alternate picking, I want to do exactly the same thing. If I was going, it's just doing the same thing over and over again and just gradually speeding it up, being really strict with them. You can practice without a click track if you've got a really good internal metronome, but you want to be at the point where you get to, you know, and you might be quite, you know, up to an okay speed. And you want to get to that point where you can still hit all of the notes when you get up to your desired speed, like going like that. I'm okay with that speed. I don't really feel like I need to get it any faster, but you might find a point that you reach where you go and then you start messing it up. So you then want to take the speed out of it, go back to, and just get used to taking the speed out of it, because the slower that you play it, the more your muscle memory learns the movements. And yeah, and then you want to do the other versions like that. There's a whole world of playing and little variations of your first finger, second finger, little finger, first finger, second finger, third finger, first finger if you're playing it that. First finger, third finger, little finger. So yeah, there's lots of different ways of playing in order to get the notes that you want. But also, if I was taking that, so you're taking, instead of going up, I'm now coming down like that. Just to play that a little bit more cleanly. Like that, and you'll find that these shapes you can repeat. If I was doing that bluesy line again, and I can't remember what I did. I think that was it. But anyway, you start to get the idea. Obviously, as you guys know, I don't play a lot of this kind of stuff. Like, you won't find me playing loads of really long runs that are alternate picked and just going on for kind of 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 seconds. I tend to just throw them in now and again, because that's just the way I like to use technique. I don't like to play fast all the time, or alternate pick everything all the time. I very much like the legato sound, which I've mentioned before, about where you get the tapping or the, which gives that smoother, kind of smoother legato. That's what it means, like longer phrases or longer sounding phrases that are smooth rather than staccato, which will be that. You can hear that it's quite aggressive. Like the strings are really getting some kind of serious punishment going on. But then, with the tapping, it's a lot more subtle. And obviously, I haven't got a really dirty tone here. So If I had a lot more distortion, then the tapping would come through a little bit more cleanly, but it's a good demonstration of the difference between the aggressiveness of the alternate picking and tapping. Hopefully you can hear the tapping in there. It does decrease a little bit because of just the technique of tapping. We're not hitting the string every time. But anyway, my advice for learning to play fast is just keep it slow. Whatever you're trying to do, however you're trying to approach it, keep it slow. And you'll especially need to do that if you're using alternate picking or sweep picking arpeggios, all that kind of stuff. If you're playing with hammer-ons and pull-offs, you'll find that you can start to speed things up a lot faster because you're not having to pick. Like that. What I'm doing is going, apply a little bit of palm mute, and it sounds a little bit kind of faster than normal. That. So that's what's going on there. So you can start to use just hammer-ons and pull-offs, and it depends how subtle you want to be with it, but this is one of the things that I do point out in the analysis videos, is that you'll find that some players do palm mute when they're playing runs, and it just gives a totally different feel to, say for example, and going, you know, there's such a difference dynamically between those two. But anyway, see, this is what happens. I get the guitar out, get sidetracked, and we're going to be looking at a picture now. So, and then we'll get into the, well, hopefully I've given you guys a bit of a chance to type I agree in that live chat room. But let's get back into the live stream, get everything organized. Let's get the background up on screen, because we are going to be taking a look, I believe, at the first ever pint glass on the live stream. So thank you, Joan, for sending this one in and for linking me to it, because Vince linked me to this one. And thank you, Joan, for uploading that at the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. It is much appreciated. There is the first ever Wings of Pegasus pint glass. So if you have ordered a pint glass yourself and it's going to get just delivered hopefully sometime soon, you can take a picture, upload it to the supporters group over on Facebook, and I can show it on the live stream. So thank you so much for uploading that one, Joan. And let's now get back to me, and let's get back to the pick roulette, which we are going to be taking a little venture into right now. And it is 12 minutes past 1, so things have moved along. That was the guitar's fault, but I will actually get into the PayPal window as well just very quickly, because Giri has sent in has donated £16.92. Thank you for that. And the message is, we'll use PayPal from this point forward. Thanks for letting me know Google takes such a large cut. Hearts from the Texas Hill Country. So thank you for that, Giri. And let me just have a little scroll up, because I think it might have been the case that the donation that came through earlier was in that super chat donation. So thank you for doing that over on PayPal as well. So we are going to be jumping into now the pick roulette for tonight. So good luck, everybody. Fingers crossed it is your lucky night tonight. And I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! So we are here live with the pick roulette, and it is up on screen. So if you haven't seen one of these before, we're going to be shuffling the names 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to see whose lucky night it is tonight, or whose lucky day it is, or whose lucky morning, depending on where you are in the world. So let's have a look at these names going through. And I didn't do a top tip pick or anything for tonight, but I can see Linda's name just going through there. Deborah's just gone through, Brenda, Amy, Jennifer, Linda as well, and Joe, and Garden Insight. Selena, is it going to get as far as Chris? It looks like it might be Chris's lucky night tonight, and it is. So, congratulations to Chris for winning tonight's pick roulette and winning the pick for tonight, the signed pick, the Wings of Pegasus pick. And as you guys know, if you've been watching for any while, then it is now Chris who has to make himself be known in that live chat room. If you are in there, Chris, let yourself be known to Carla so that she can get everything organised with you in order to send the pick to you. And I'm just looking into the live chat room. I can see that there's a message from Carla that's about to go through that says I-Fi. So I'm not sure whether that's meant for me, that it was going to say Phil, but congratulations, Chris, for winning the pick. And let's have a little look out for Chris in the live chat room. I haven't seen his name yet, but if you are in there, let yourself be known to Carla so that we can organise everything for you to pick up that pick. So congratulations and commiserations to everybody who didn't go away with a pick tonight. But there's always another opportunity, and that opportunity will come around for you next week because we have reached our goal for tonight. So if you want to get your name on that wheel, make sure that you've typed I agree and also tagged Carla. And let me have a little look. And I think Carla says, oops, haha, Laurie Pond was the t-shirt tonight. So I didn't see any t-shirt option on there, but there was one that hadn't been filled in. So maybe had we landed on that, we would have had the t-shirt roulette. But there is a t-shirt roulette if we land on that particular segment that wasn't filled in, but is usually filled in. So that will be on there next week, and we will be having another pick roulette next week. Let me just type in what to put in, and we have to tag Carla. So we put at Carla, and then Carla Murray's name comes up. You click on it, and then you click on that again to type I agree, exclamation marks. So I'm just typing that in so you guys can get a little idea of what you have to put in order to get your name on the pick roulette for next week. But hopefully you guys have already done it when I was messing around on the guitar. Hopefully you were typing I agree and probably not listening to a word I was saying, which is probably a good thing. But to get your names on that wheel, just make sure that you type and tag Carla as well, because it makes sure that she can see it and makes it easier for her to see. But you might be able to see my comment. Hopefully I've preempted it and kind of hoped that somebody would comment. Yeah, we go. As it goes through, that's what you have to put in that live chat room. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight and for hitting that thumbs up. If you are watching this on catch up, you can still hit that thumbs up in the future. It all helps to get this live stream out there, but for the channel to grow as a whole as well. So, I can see we've got a few I agrees going through. So I'm just going to drag it out a little bit. And we've had another donation coming in, and this is coming from Jeannie. Thank you for this, and the donation is for $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, better late than never. Just wanted to say howdy, y'all, with a smiley face. Spike those likes with another smiley face, and rock. Thank you for that, Jeannie. And Orlando has donated $5, and thank you for that. This says, I am late. We already hit the likes goal, but for old time's sake, spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando, who has he's won just in life by making it to the end of the live stream and not missing out on one. But thank you, Orlando, for hitting that thumbs up. And also Jeannie for that previous donation as well. And I can see there has been another donation in the PayPal window, I do believe. So I just want to address that before we finish. And it is Karen, who has donated £3.38. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, Bono said, music can change the world because it can change people. That applies to how you've taught and reminded me musically since my subscribing to your channel as a musician. I've become more open-minded. Thanks for being you with the guitar, and cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen, the donation and those kind words, and the quote as well from Bono. And Sue has donated £20. Thank you for that, Sue. And it is a straight up donation, so thank you for that. And Lynn has donated £123.45. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you so much for that, Lynn. A very kind donation. And the message is, hoping you get to enjoy England winning the football match on Sunday. Cheers. Fingers crossed for a win from England tomorrow. We will see. We are playing Croatia, and Croatia are quite good, so I don't know whether we'll win or not, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we will. And Beth has donated £27.07. Thank you for that, Beth. And the message is, good evening, Phil and all wingers, new and old. Remember to like and sub. Thank you for waking me up after my nappy. I appreciated your explanation of how copywriting works. You deserve everything you have and make for yourself with your hard work and talent, with a smiley face and a heart and some rock horns. So thank you for that donation, and also for the word nappy, because nappy here in the UK are what babies wear. That means that they can just go to the loo whenever they like because they've got a nappy on. And you're calling a nappy like a nap. So we call going to sleep a nap. So thank you for that, Beth, for using the word nappy and for allowing me the opportunity to explain the difference between a nappy maybe in the UK and a nappy in the USA. But anyway, thank you for that, Beth. And Patricia has donated £2 as well. Thank you for this, Patricia. And the message is, hey Phil, are you getting out and about? I keep getting conflicting stories about London getting back to normal. Seems like you are a workaholic. So thank you for that, Patricia. And I don't really, this is why I'm not really affected so much by COVID, because I don't go out particularly much, because I'm always doing something, either an analysis video, catching up with emails, or doing live streams. So I'm not out a hell of a lot. I'm trying to think about the UK. I know that we were going to be opening up very soon, like everything opening up and almost going back to normal, but there's been a real spike in the cases, in the number of cases, so they might be delaying it for 4 weeks. And this is the Delta variant, they're calling it, which is the same as the Indian variant, so it's like 60% more transmissible, if that's the right word. So yeah, we might be going back to not a lockdown like before, but just having to take precautions again. And I'm still wearing my mask if I do go anywhere. Not that I go particularly out too much, but I know that some people are just treating it like normal, back to normal, and not wearing masks and stuff. So unfortunately, it is spreading, but we will see where we end up. Thank you as well to Mario, who has very kindly donated £150. Thank you for that, Mario. And the message is, here's to another awesome live stream, Phil, with some smiley faces. So thank you, Mario, for joining me tonight. And thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight as well. It is much appreciated. And hopefully I'll see you guys again at a live stream on Tuesday, because we do live stream then as well. And we will be having a pick roulette then as well. So if you haven't won the pick roulette yet, then Tuesday is a very good time to get involved with, because we're hitting the targets on Tuesdays, which means that we're having a pick roulette on Tuesdays. So it can double your chance to win. So make sure that you do tune in on Tuesday night. Same time, it's always 12 a.m. That's 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time, in order to join it live. And some people do join afterwards and say, oh, why am I not popping up in the live chat room? You have to be watching it live. So make sure you check your time zone. In Google, just type in 12 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, or just type in the time in London, England, and you'll be able to find my time zone, and then you'll know whether I'm live or not, because if it is 12 a.m. at my time, or just after that, it's now 1:22 in the morning here. So if it is that time, then you're watching live. But I think you'd get the idea that if you're watching live, you'll see your comment come through the live chat room. So that's something to look out for. But thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. And hopefully I'm just going to pop up to see that Orlando has donated right at the end another £5. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, my New York Yankees lost 8-7 in extra innings to the Philadelphia Phillies. Yes, American baseball. Your live stream made me feel better. Thanks, with a thumbs up. So commiserations to Orlando, whose team lost at baseball today, but at least there's a little bit of a silver lining with the live stream and making it to the end. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight. There's going to be another analysis video tomorrow night. Look out for that one. Another live stream Tuesday night. Hopefully you can join me then, and another analysis video on Wednesday. But tune in again next week, because if you typed I agree and tagged Carla in the live chat room, then you could be going away and having, not going away with, but having sent to you a Wings of Pegasus pick in the pick roulette. So thank you guys for joining me. Final look into that live chat room. We have Mario going through How Co-Tube, Patrick, Maria, and Game Breaker Law. That's Chris going through. Lynn, Carl, Beth, Beverly, Neil, Karen, Richard, Beth, Billy again, Lynn, and you, moderators going through now. Neil and Carla, and then Donna as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I will catch you guys at the next one. Make sure you stay as safe as possible with COVID. However, it's going in your country, whatever the government are recommending that you do, just make sure you follow those. Get your jabs if you can. I'm halfway there with my jab, and hopefully I'll be fully the way there very soon. And that's certainly something that we're doing here in the UK, rolling out the jabs as soon as possible. But have a great rest of the weekend. Hopefully England will win tomorrow in the football, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!